40% finished. I think that's really good considering the last couple of months we've had some bad weather. They shut down until the 1st of March because they had some silos that had to be replaced, but they're going to be back on track. So I do believe that in March and April they'll finish the project. So that's good. And in a couple of weeks, assuming we get together and looking at the documents, we should be able to advertise for B and C, which is really good. We'll do that at the same time. And if things go right, we'll probably have 5 months for B, and they should be starting construction in May for B and C. So we'll see how the bids go, but we're really excited about that. So it's going well. Actually, we finished the repair of the streets where we had to cut in and fix part of the streets and finish all the curb cuts, and it's going really well. The resurfacing, the milling goes, and then 4 days after the milling, we do the resurfacing. So that's pretty much it. There's several on the, what I've given you this time, you've got on the last page, beside the streets that have been done on the first page.
If I could interrupt you. So the check, the green check, I'm assuming is just entirely complete. That's what that is. Okay.
As I said, they should finish the rest of those in the next.
If I could just say this to the commission, I'm not sure whether it was you, Mr. Garner, or whether it was you, Nathan. We talked about having press conferences in the commission, or maybe it came from one of you having press conferences in the commission coming. We're gonna try, one, we had some, I'm gonna say we still have some in-house. We're gonna try to not only have a press conference, but do signs that say, you know, your 1% dollars at work, so that we can just, you know, they're little yard signs, but we just put them down where the projects are done as a reminder to the residents that work is being done based on their investment. So we'll tell you, I'll get with Melissa about when we can do some of the press conferences on these completed streets. You know, just to make sure that, no pun intended, we get the mileage on the work that no.
Just as a suggestion, or idea, I drove through some of these, looking at what was done a couple of weeks ago, and the contractor's putting out ahead of going to work, get your cars off the street because we're going to be milling this in the future, whatever. It might be that we could arrange with the contractor on all these, to put those yard signs out, because that's what they're putting out as a yard sign, saying, we're fixing to pave this street, don't park here. And if they're gonna be doing that, if we gave them some, at the same time they did it, they might just as a suggestion.
Yeah, it's a matter of what our, you know, our stockpile of signs look like, whether we trust them enough to like that, because it just, you know, sometimes you're a little more, you know,
I just thought it out.
secure, you're a little more afraid to give them, you don't have that many.
But they are, I drove through where they were finished with some of it, where they were fixing to start, they saying, we're gonna start Monday. Now, some of them, I was there before that, and they weren't started, but they said don't park here, so I guess they had to do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, sir, still in.
So what you have is 1A, 1B, and 1C, and that'll be advertised for B and C will be advertised in a couple of weeks. You also have a list of the streets that have been eliminated and some that have been added. That's in the last page. What we found was in some cases like on Yorkshire and Valley, it's in good shape. It's not deep. So,
Let me, Terry Fields Drive, I don't know if you've been there, the first one that you've been there. The east end of it, the east half of it being redone, but the west half had.
And that's what was eliminated from Farmington to the dead end.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the war map.
Okay.
That far end of the road,
The far end's been redone.
and that's been eliminated.
Okay, so it's
The
just.
near
far-
end of the road is on the list.
Okay, that's what, just, okay, got you.
Mr. Dale, refresh my memory. Last month, we talked about some of the streets that we had taken out because we thought
what's happened, we got a bunch of these where the water's it's been broken, and then you go in and they'll replace a little bit, or they'll replace the meters, and then we'll go back and resurface it. We thought they were gonna do the whole street, but they're not, they're just doing.
We took out nine out of phase one.
Yeah, well, regardless of whether, I get your point, and that's an important, because we wouldn't have to deal with it at all. But it still deals with our priority of those streets, because if it's gonna be dealt with Jackson Water, we certainly don't wanna overlay it.
But the question we discussed last month was, those nine were taken out because they were gonna do the whole street.
And we need to put them back on.
And we segregated them.
Mhm.
But now, like, Papa, all they're gonna do is replace one valve. And so, we ought to be saying, Jackson Water, when you gonna replace that valve? Because we're gonna be over there paving in 2 months. And,
Yeah.
well, are we having that conversation with them about those 9 streets to know when, before they get into those areas, can they be paving these streets? Because there's some other streets that adjoin right there that can cross.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, just to give you just I guess a bit of background. I think the example that we gave last month, is it Monroe Street that runs in front of this stage?
It's Whitworth.
Whitworth, that's right. Whitworth, all the way down to Manship's on the list. Manship was on the list, we took it off because we thought Jackson Water was gonna repave it, and they're not. Well, it's in horrible, horrible shape. So the question is, rather than having to redeploy the equipment, because we missed it, never got it back on the list, we wanted to ensure that it was back on the list when the equipment arrived.
If we, I don't know if it requires this, but if we wanna make a motion to, put those streets that were previously taken off back on the list, then we can do that.
I think we, by general agreement, said that was gonna happen, that's
Yeah.
mean, we had originally approved.
Right.
So they've been approved, it's gonna take a change order
Right.
to their contract to put it back on the street, because they're not in.
Well, it really doesn't require a change order at this time if they still hadn't done the work.
I mean, it's gonna require
It would-
somebody telling the contractor to do
It's
it.
just a construction director saying, hey, we're adding A,
Yeah.
B, C, and D street
Yeah.
back, and just, put that into your plan.
Yeah.
And that was really the question that
Yeah.
we'll make sure we
We're
get.
just making sure that's actually happening.
Right.
Robert, if
We
we
were having that discussion like Lamar Street, we were having that discussion.
If we
with
could
Chad
just
Dawson.
have a list of those streets that were previously taken off, and we can email them, just so we are on being aware and.
It's St. Anne, St. Mary, Lamar, Papa Manship.
I'm not gonna remember.
I'm just saying. But some of the repairs have already been done. My question is more, look at Neil Schaefer. And we had this discussion last week, same thing John was saying, that we talked to Jackson Water and say, what's your plan on getting to Whitworth? Or whatever the issues are, so that when they can, kind of like they were doing, Robert, on Council Circle on that sewer collapse.
Yeah.
Right, so
Well,
and so they said, yeah, we'll get on there for the next 3 weeks to do it. Are we doing that on all the other 9 streets?
Well, I know when there's a break, we talk to them, and when we know something, we get it.
I know that, but these were not breaks, these were, y'all told us last July that Jackson Water was gonna replace water lines there. So I don't know what that, it's not breaks, that's not what the issue was on these
We'll,
lines.
we'll check.
Thank you.
For the record, who has joined us on the phone? Last 4 digits, 8601.
So I've got a text from Wilson and Ted saying they're trying to call me.
Somebody's on.
They might be muted.
Clearly not muted, because we can hear them.
Yeah, we can hear that. And we know the other number.
Well, it's open to the, it's
Yeah, it's
recorded,
public
so
meeting.
it's fine.
Yeah.
All right.
But if it's a member, we need to know. if it's a
Yeah,
member.
a few minutes.
We're gonna tell Wilson. Let's see, we tried both lines of
Oh.
Tiffany shared, but can't get through.
Been muted the whole time. Sorry.
We've been muted.
We've been muted.
Okay.
Oh, so they can hear us.
They couldn't hear what we said.
Who's joining us?
Hey, Wilson's on here, I got you now.
Okay.
That's on me, I'm sorry, I forgot to unmute it once I heard somebody was on the line.
Yeah. All right, thank you for joining us.
Thank guys.
All right, thank you for joining us. Are you,
I just had one other thing, which we estimate that one B is gonna take about 5 months.
Mhm.
And, if things go well, it'll be finished at the end of September.
Okay.
And then one C, which is bigger, it should take about 7 months, and that'll be up to November for that finish.
Will be good, thank you,
So it
Susan.
should be-
That work will intersect with one another. Okay, okay.
Okay, thank you very much, and I'll get that.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
I would say, for those that haven't driven those streets that have been done, most of, by the way, don't have any concrete work, there are very few curb and gutters over there, but the paving guy looked like he's doing a good job. Yeah, overall, I mean, it was, it's up there around Grove Park in that area, the Burger Edition, or some of them, and they look like they've done a good job. Couple of manholes need to be raised, couple of valves need to be raised, we've talked about that.
Okay, sounds good, sounds good. Thank you so much, we appreciate it.
And, for the photo of the month, they were milling overlaying on Cottage Street and Poplar water line. So we have stuff like
They did
that.
what?
Poplar water line.
Good.
So definitely there's close coordination with Neil Schaefer team, Dixon Bowen, and Jackson Water when surprises happen.
Is that, the fact that we do billing, is that not unusual? That's not unusual, that sometimes the water line, I know we're not doing the heavy billing like they do, but in 2016, then y'all cut back on.
Well, even this one, they milled the street because the surface didn't come up anyway. But, looking back at the old photos, there was a couple patches here, so it's probably water line that's seen better days. Which is not a surprise.
I'm glad it's this side, not that side.
On average, how many are the water lines? Are the water lines from the depth center, is it all over the place throughout the city, or is it?
Typically, minimum 3 feet. Unless you have like weird things underground where you might go a little shallow, or you're trying to duck under something, you might go deep, but typically in the neighborhood, 3 feet.
So that just blew a joint and then it came back up?
It's probably just an old line.
Yeah, it's-
But anyway,
What'd you do to our water line?
I didn't do a thing in your.
Oh, okay.
Your water lines too.
Cottage Street, is that off of Minnesota?
yeah, that's over in
Over
Eminence,
there.
Collier,
Yeah.
either, I think it's in 7, I was trying to pull up the ward
I
number.
think it's in 3. It's over.
Virgie goes all the way over there.
I know, they get over there, it's split somewhere.
All right, well, after we get back on.
Sorry.
Let's move through.
I just-
I have a question.
Riverside.
I have a question on the last slide, I might have missed it. The significance of the dates, the plant shutdown. Is that February 10th through March 1st?
They're replacing their silos. Like, take them out to the can man and put in brand new silos.
Okay.
So they won't be producing any asphalt. For Dickerson Bowen is prime. That's where they were making their money, was selling asphalt to Kelly, who's doing the on-road work. So they're not selling asphalt because they don't have silos to store it. So that's why we're gonna have a pause, and it's
March 1st.
so they can do plant maintenance, needed plant maintenance in advance of paving season.
Don't they normally do that? Plant maintenance a little?
It's a week in December.
Yeah, it's usually, yeah.
Well, you got plant maintenance, this is above and beyond just some regular.
we know December, we know
It's not like normal, yeah. When we did this out.
I can't answer that.
Okay.
Thanks.
You have any other updates for us, Rob?
Riverside Drive, we had a bit of a snafu. Salvation Army last month had a significant leak on the customer side of their meter, and it ran all weekend. And that wasn't a 5/8 inch copper, that was a 2-inch. How bad can a weekend of 2-inch water make a difference? The curb moved that much. There's my foot.
Tell you what,
There's my.
it was.
There's my shoe.
That's your foot.
2 inches.
And so as a measurement, it's one big toe.
So the curve dropped down that much.
The curb drop. This is all undermined. The trail undermined, and you see right here in this photo the difference between the inlet joint here that's in the right spot and the curb that's. So
How many linear feet does this take?
about 3/4 of a block. going to direct Hemp Hill to get that repaired, and then either give the bill to Salvation Army, they pay it, or we give it to Risk Management, we pay the bill, and then let Risk Management handle it from there.
So Salvation Army has it first, and if they just say no, this management is what? Insurance?
City attorney, they
It's
deal with
within-
claims and
yeah.
stuff.
But they would deal, talk
Yeah.
with Salvation Army.
And the news reports that we're gonna say that, Pete Perry has directed that we go after the Salvation Army.
Hardcore for what?
And pursue them to the ends,
I think
to
so.
the ends of the earth.
But it was something their plumber did on their side of the
They had
meter.
worked on that same meter about 4 months ago, so the plumber screwed it up, it's okay.
That's our story.
But they were working on it a long time ago.
Yeah. So, other than this, and Ted's work, we done. So we do need to, Mayor, look at scheduling a groundbreaking that doesn't have this in the background.
Let me, if it's done, and we might end up having to pay it. you turn it over.
That we need the groundbreaking on.
I mean, we're talking about $10,000.
And
I got something late from Wagner and Hill yesterday. I've got
maybe not do all of those, you know, it'd be good to do.
probably either upper 5 or low 6 figures. For that much,
So we have that, we have that much play in the bond fund, okay, that's what, we still want to pay it out of bond fund and get back there.
Yeah.
We got that much play.
But definitely, I can't leave this and then have water get under and then cause all sorts of other issues, so that's all.
It looks too good to have a mess like that.
Yeah.
It does.
Street projects actually updated this slide in the last couple hours. Civil Tech did submit their 60% submittals for Beasley Road Northwest Industrial Park project and Gallatin and McDowell yesterday. We're gonna go through that and then get back with them on Friday. Capitol Street, Bowling Prentice, Energy's working on it. Prentice to Gallatin, let me get the box out of the way, there's some important stuff down there. That. Still, Crown submitted cost estimates, and they did, break that up to previous discussion we had in commission of looking at Rose to Gallatin as a project, but also looking at the traffic signals on the whole corridor, because they are, seeing much better days. Rose to Gallatin, construction, C&I, and then, contingency, you're running about $8.6 million. That doesn't include a little additional design work necessary to modify your construction plans if you have a transition point at road going from new construction to existing condition, which would not be too much, and then just adjusting points. The whole, part 2, Prentice to Gallatin, current estimate is $14.9 million. This is not an action item, this is informational, since that was asked either last meeting or meeting before, I forget which, just kind of everybody have that information as far as future planning.
Any idea how much that is the phase 1 signal replacement?
Not off the top of my head,
You're asking how much of that amount is the
How much
signal
of the AR,
replacement?
14 million?
Is the signal replacement?
Well, there's a signal replacement on the other end, not signal replacement as part of this project.
past Prentice.
The phase 1 signal replacement, you say, it's plus phase, yeah.
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, but if you ask me, no.
Wait, let me read. So, the 8.6, tell me how the water rates up there. Is 8.6 including signal replacements on phase 1?
Yes.
Okay. Then, how much was that? $1 million, $500,000?
I wish. We were gonna have to fully replace Parkside, O'Farrell, and Claiborne. So if you say about 400 to 500 per each, you'd be looking at about $1.2 million minimum. And then Bowling Street, we were just doing a hardware upgrade, so that'd be about $100,000.
So now, if we did Rose to Gallatin, you would have to have a major signal replacement window, one way to 2 way.
Oh, that the Robinson signal gotta be fully replaced, that's, no matter what.
No have to do that because you're going from.
You can have, you go out more often than I do, but I believe that stretch is the worst part of Jackson, the worst street in Jackson, that little section of,
Between Gallatin and South Hill.
Include a little additional design work necessary to modify your construction plans if you have a transition point at roads going from new construction to existing condition, which would not be too much. And then your suggested quantities. The whole, part two, Prentice to Gallatin, current estimate is $14.9 million. This is not an action item, this is informational, since that was asked either last meeting or meeting before, I forget which, just to kind of everybody have that information as far as future planning.
Any idea how much that is for phase one signal replacement?
Not off the top of my head.
you're asking how much of that amount is the
How much
signal
is that,
replacement?
14 million?
Is the signal replacement?
Well, there's a signal replacement on the other end, not signal replacement as part of this project.
Past Prentice.
The phase one signal replacement, you said, it's plus phase, you know.
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, but if you ask me,
Wait, let me read. So, the 8.6, tell me how the word reads up there. Is 8.6 including signal replacements on phase one?
Yes.
Okay, then, how much was that? What, $1 million, $500,000?
I wish. We were gonna have to fully replace Parkside, O'Farrell, and Claiborne. So if you say about 400 to 500 per each, you'd be looking at about $1.2 million minimum. And in Bowling Street, we were just doing a hardware upgrade, so that'd be about $100,000.
But now, if we did Rose to Gallatin, you would have to have a major signal replacement where you go from one way to two way.
Oh, that the Robinson signal gotta be fully replaced. That's
No matter what,
no matter what.
no matter what we're talking about phase one.
Mhm.
In this one, you'd have to do that because you're going from,
We can have, you go out more often than I do, but I believe that stretch is the worst part of Jackson, the worst street in Jackson, that little section of,
between Gallatin and South Hill. where-
that area,
All the way down to Stewpot.
yes.
Well, actually, the road.
Well,
first-
yes, that part of Stewpot is
The road
a
there
part
is
of it too,
bad.
but that little,
This other little area over here is.
yeah, that's terrible.
I'm just, if we did that section from Rose to Gallatin, what I'm asking, you would have to include signal replacement.
Absolutely.
We did the west end, the street, but we didn't have to do signal replacement there.
You didn't have to.
Wait, I'm just saying. So adding to phase one is not part of Rose to Gallatin, so the Rose to Gallatin is about a $6 million, $6.5 million project, what you're saying, and $2 million for the other end.
I'd probably pencil in about 6.5 closer, because
Okay,
you're looking at
that's just good
two
enough.
and three-quarter signals to be replaced
Gotcha.
on that.
Yeah, I mean, I was just trying to separate this project from adding to the other project.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will say this as far as signals, just like going to Costco, ordering in bulk, it's, you get a better deal. Ordering mast arms in bulk from one or two suppliers that do mast arms, you get a better deal even despite the 7-8 month turnaround. So, don't know what happened there. Bridge program, Elmore's been focusing on Monument Street, getting the environmental done. So this month has been, his focus has been on the Monument Street. We will work with him as far as the MLK and Swan Lake when we get with him on Friday, kind of get an update on where we're at on those. And I've got to work on my design contracts for the other bridges. Alice, Beasley, Country Club, ×2, Shaw, and Smallwood. And I put the same thing in there twice. I was doing this and And then we're working on the closeout on the slides. just a raised grant
Right, we're
update.
gonna close out on the slides. What's the update on the guardrail?
I don't have an update on
Okay.
the guardrail right now.
Thank you.
We all.
We talked about,
I think-
we
Yeah,
talked
we're
about.
all in agreement that we wanna
We ain't
figure.
doing 99.
Well, we also agreed last month that we ain't doing the $99,000.
No, we're not doing that, but.
Yeah, we talked about it in length on the last one.
Yeah.
We ain't
Even
doing
if
that.
there's just a visual, even if it wouldn't stop a car, right?
Nathan and I
Something-
agreed to go over there and do one with two before out for $50,000, so we'll do that.
Well, y'all are cutting me out now?
Oh, you were a silent partner. You get the design fee, you're just gonna be in the silence, okay?
That's the PE and C and I. Just kind of quick update on raised grants for everybody's benefit. The office review, that may slide into March at this point. Grant agreement, that passed city council not yesterday, but time before last. And that's been sent to legal to go for the mayor's autograph. And then that includes the USB as well, so I'll need to check on that. More informational purpose here, we agreed on the East County line match. Last time out.
Do we know what their bids were? They originally opened, do we know what their bids were?
I don't
Okay.
have that information.
Okay.
Quick update on the Federal Way project since we're coming down. Medrick Road, punch work's complete. EJS is working with MDOT on the closeout documents. Mill Street Town Creek Bridge, everything but the paint's done, the bridge is technically closed, but the barricades have grown legs and moved out of the way, so everybody's using it. Nobody's gonna fall over themselves to put the barricades back in place, so that one will be pretty close for ribbon cutting once we get the paint down. And then Perry Road resurfacing, that road looks great with all the new holes in it now.
But besides the new hooks.
Atlas.
It doesn't look great. I drove up and down that road 3 times the other day and counted 21 manholes that are at least an inch and a half below the surface. You can drive through that. I worked to hit them because I'd move over where I saw one. They've not raised the manholes or valve covers to the surface. And we've said over and over and over, that's got to quit.
Have we given, a certificate of completion on that?
But I don't think we've released maintenance on it.
Okay,
Let me
let's-
double check with Southern Consultant.
Go over there and drive it.
Well, if we hadn't done a certificate of completion on it, then let's
Yeah.
tell them we need them to do that.
All right, I was there this morning looking at the
What are the holes that you're talking about?
Atmos is.
Oh, Atlas, yeah.
Yeah, there's a really nice hole in the middle of Terry McDowell right now.
Yeah, Admis has been doing a lot of work in that area, and they've brought in contractors from, other
Everybody.
states, because of just the issues that they've been suffering from recently, so we can expect a lot of challenges, dealing with, following up with them and making sure that they, what road was that, I'm just making a note here. Terry Road.
Terry Road.
By the way, those manholes are on, going south and going north, no matter which lane you're in, there's a bunch.
Okay, so noted. The Woodrow Wilsons, we got the final piece of paper, was put in the blue folder to legal to the mayor's office. I don't think it made the mayor's office, a few days ago for the mayor to sign. That's I think the last piece of paper the mayor has signed to get authority to advertise. And we're trying to get that done by mid-March, or to get advertising started by mid-March, and then we're working on the Woodrow Wilson. I told you I wouldn't have anything this time. We're still
So this will
looking
be,
at all the information.
it's a big discussion.
Yes, so that's in progress. The new projects, 3 of the 5 got their environmental approvals, 2 have been submitted. We are confident those will actually get approved by the end of the month. And that's, once we get environmental approved, then we can actually go hard in on the designs. CMPDD, to kind of make sure that, funds are there and that there's obligation authority, which is a whole different technical thing, that there's so much obligation authority, it ain't funny, so the sooner we can get these designed, flown through the MDOT system and advertised, they'll be ready for obligating them. Just a recap on the MPO from last time, funds made available. City council yesterday, approved our MPO applications, as we discussed previously. Bailey, McDowell, Medgrovers, Pascagoula, Ridgewood Court, the 2 bridges, the 1 safety project.
I really want to look, and I'm not saying this comes out of this money, I just want to figure this out. I'm not certain if, you know, I should maybe look at you, Hibbett, here, on the Sunset, is that, no, is it Sunset? Yeah, the Sunset portion of Medgar Evers, instead of a traffic signal being there, doing a roundabout there. One, it creates a safer condition, and I heard that was one of the more likely eligible spaces that could be done. And so I'd like to see if we can do that, and it will help reduce our overall maintenance of that traffic signal and everything else in that area.
We did include the intersection there, but you know, the money is more for traffic signals. But whether we do traffic signals or change the roundabout, no, we could still use federal funds for that.
Okay, I'd like us to
If awarded.
investigate.
If awarded, yes.
Investigate roundabout
But
there.
you're saying it might be one of the things you applied for?
On the safety side, which usually,
We
because
don't have
traffic
anything to do
signals
with it.
isn't a sales.
We don't have
tax.
anything to do with that, but just, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I'll look in.
thank you, I appreciate it.
And then that's it for me.
Discussion's been happening the whole time. Do we have any? Anything else?
Let's approve the minutes of adjournment.
All right, we're gonna break a record. Just for your your information, you have been, I think the last meeting, it was requested the council minutes that showed the confirmation of Fidelis Malumbeka and also Lewis Wright. So that's in there. And,
Can I,
yeah,
this does correct what we were talking about at the last meeting. I would say it still needs to be corrected because it's showing a full 5-year term, and that's not what the statute says. They were filling the vacancy. I think there's still a correction that needs to be made to it.
well.
It corrects what we were talking about at the last
Yeah.
meeting.
We will, I think part of the correction will be going through the request from the AGs, for AG opinion on these appointments and what they,
Well, the statute says when you fill a vacancy, it's for the unexpired term, despite what Attorney Martin was saying. Reading the second sentence of the statute says that. Now, if you want to get an AG's opinion, see if that's what it says, fine. But still would like to see that AG's opinion request too, which we asked at the last meeting.
okay, we'll get that. Just for note, I would like to see I'm sure you have been confirmed, but I've never seen the documents that confirm.
I don't have to, I don't require confirmation.
You
Mine
don't-
does not require
No,
confirmation.
no, I still hadn't seen your appointment. I
If
hadn't
you
seen-
have it sent to you. No, it was, the original was sent to Mayor Yarber. My reappointment was sent to you because I got a copy of it.
well,
But then
I'd like
maybe
to-
you ought to read your emails.
Well, I hadn't seen it. I'm just saying I
Okay.
hadn't seen it.
Well, then go read
I mean,
your-
I can say that this
I'll
happened
go-
in a council meeting, right? I can say that.
I will go
but-
get you a copy
I
out.
appreciate that. Thank you.
You've never asked for it.
All right, well, I am now.
Okay.
Thank you. We still hadn't, has everyone reviewed the minutes?
I read them yesterday.
Somebody have a motion?
So moved.
Yep, go ahead.
So moved.
All right, we have a motion.
With one amendment.
Okay.
There was a blank in there because I couldn't tell from the video a number of the discussion.
Yeah, that's right.
And so to fill in that blank with the number $99,687.50 on the third page. I'll put that in a copy and get it there. On the third page, there's a blank because in trying to
The
listen to the
amount.
recording.
This is the amount on
that-
Old Cannon
yeah,
Road.
That amount was not, I couldn't hear it. And so
Okay.
Robert gave it to me just a little while ago. So with that being filled in that blank,
And how much is that?
$99,687.50.
Okay, so,
We-
well, let me make sure I'm doing this correctly. I have a motion and a second. We're in discussion. You're asking to do an amendment to include that amount.
Or he can just add that to the vote.
Or you can, yeah,
Yes, go ahead, add it.
whoever made the motion.
Jonathan made it, I'll second that, according to what
Good.
they just said, 99.
And you, okay.
Yes, sir.
Any further discussion?
I think that's.
If none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. The ayes
Hate
have
if
it.
it's complicated with that, but it needs to be in there.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
no problem with me.
Thank you, I'm sorry I missed that.
All right, if nothing else, I move that we adjourn. Or did you have something, were you raising your
No,
hand?
I'll make that a motion. That's all.
Oh, okay, I thought
Yes,
you
sir.
were
Aye.
asking.
No, sir. Thank you.
All right, all those in favor?
A 39-minute meeting.
We broke a record. We broke a record.
Thanks, guys.